How you doing, everybody? This is Kyle, aka K Boogie. Just wanted you guys to know that you're listening to TBT podcast, Truth Be Told, the inaugural episode first. And thank you for tuning in. We're gonna take you in right now as a fly in the wall in a room as we're having a conversation.
When I contacted you guys back in 2014 around this time, and I was saying, I think it was in lieu of all the shit that was going on with the police brutality and Black lives and things of that nature, and I was thinking to myself, man, this is some bullshit. I feel like as a black man, I'm being dehumanized. I'm losing a voice, and I needed to get my frustrations out some way, somehow, and connect to people who felt the same way. And I thought about you two, because back in the day when we all went to college together, we would spend some crazy nights just talking about some real shit. And I hit you guys up and I said, hey, let's go meet up and see if we could find a platform to voice our opinions. And here we are today, when we actually sat down a year ago at Hong Kong in Harvard Square. I mean, when I hit y'all up and said, let's meet up, what were your thoughts?
I mean, for me, I gotta say that at first I didn't know what the fuck a podcast was. I thought you was high. I was like, I bet, like it sounds cool. You know what I mean? Like we'll link up. You know what I mean? But when we all got together and talked about it, and your points and your reasons for doing it seemed poignant, and we were fresh off protesting after the whole Mike Brown thing happened. And, the whole hands up, don't shoot. And then the Black Lives Matter thing came out of that. And we were, active out here, like in more so just as part of being supporters of what was going on. And I felt like, it was a good platform. And we can use that as a driving force for any type of movement that we feel like is necessary. So I jumped on board,
Bet.
What about you? Man. What about you?
I mean,
good math.
It's just it allowed a form. It just really allowed. We in my opinion, we were talking about an opportunity for people to kind of be flies on the wall in the room when we have these conversations. Anyways, so if we're participating in protests, if we're saying things are important, if we just want to get some shit off our chest, then this is what we do. And you always say this is your therapy, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So and I think that's dope. This is another outlet, another venue for us to get our voices out there. And if we're gonna work at it, then that's all right. If you want to listen. If you don't, then don't. Like it is what it is.
In this full year, I feel like 2015 was just one year that I will always remember due to a lot of the things that happened, good and bad, mostly being bad. And I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not someone that's a pessimist. I'm more of a realist when it comes to just seeing the world for what it is.
All pessimists say that, by the way.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. I don't believe I'm a pessimist, but it is what it is. I definitely saw a lot of bad, and it all depends on whose lens you're looking at life through. Not to say my life is bad, but I saw a lot of bad in 2015, whether that's domestic, global issues, just shit that's been going on in my own life. I think there's a lot, but if you want to just like think about 2015, like what do you think is, if you had a few points, right? Like if you could look back and just reflect back on this year, what would you say were the good that came out of this year for you?
I mean, personally, if you ask me, something good that came out of this year. It's been a long year, a lot of craziness happening, and if we're gonna just focus on the positive side of things, I don't know. The highlight of my year still got to be Malcolm Butler and that crazy interception at the end of the Super Bowl.
Dude.
Yo, real talk. I was so elated in that moment. I felt like nothing else really mattered. I haven't felt that way in a while since then.
So you're talking about the
loser.
I'm real. I'm keeping it 100. I'm keeping it 100. I'm talking about the interception. You know what I'm saying? And he can go on and be mediocre the rest of his career now because now he's that nigga. Wherever he goes, I was at the Celtics Warriors the other night. He was at the game sitting courtside. They showed more love for him than they showed for anyone else sitting on the sidelines. And there was plenty of famous people in the building because, the Warriors had the undefeated streak that just got snapped. You know what I mean? But there's plenty of people in the building, but when it showed Malcolm Butler, the stadium went crazy. So he gonna get love forever for that, and that was a crazy moment, and positive.
So if you don't know much about us, I mean, I think 2/3 of us here sitting in this room are Patriots fans. And with that being said, my man's favorite highlight of the year was Malcolm Butler's interception to save the Super Bowl for the Patriots. Hey, listen, I thought it was a good catch, but I don't know if that was
the highlight of your year.
I haven't. There's a lot of things going on right now that make me feel the world is a fucked up place. And for me, when something can happen that takes me out of that element of saying that, there's a lot of fucked up shit out here, and I'm just not thinking about that at all. I'm just in a positive space. Sports do that for me. So
yeah,
I felt like that was a highlight.
I mean, for me, 2015, it's not over yet, but I'm definitely blessed. And that's something that everyone loves to hashtag. But in truth of the matter, I'm blessed that I have my health. I was able to see a lot of family members this year, including my grandparents, my sisters, my brothers, my cousins, uncles. I've been able to spend a lot of time with family this year more than I have in any other year as of recent. This year as well, I got my first dog, which is now my boy for life, Chance. I have him. I got him in May, and that dude definitely gave me some gray hairs, and I'm sure I still have more coming in. But that was a commitment, a life commitment that I made of this year. So he's part of the family. That's my dog, and that was definitely good for me for this year. So my health, my family, my new members of my family, y'all becoming closer, my friends, my brothers. I think a lot in my life has blossomed in 2015 in terms of my connections with people. And I learned to let go of some people in 2015 too. So I think that is a big highlight for me personally. Also, though, just a little side note, I think another thing that was good for me in 2015 was my former circus, which was music. And I think that this year was a great year for music for me because I listened to predominantly hip-hop. And a lot of hip-hop albums came out this year, including J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake, Dr. Dre, Travis Scott. A lot of people dropped a lot of albums this year, and I was able to, Joey Badass, I was able to listen to some good music and really feel like hip-hop was coming back off of life support. In a sense. So I think it was a good year, 2015, for hip-hop, A$AP Rocky. I can name a lot of different albums that came out this year, Action Bronson. A lot of albums came out this year that I enjoyed, to the point where I even went back and bought a record player and got some vinyls and got some of the new music on vinyls, and then went and got some old music on vinyls. Music played a huge part in my year this year. As far as the good. So so those two things, a combination of both, one or the other, whichever, they definitely helped me out with this year as far as the good. What's your good, Math?
2015, I'm actually looking back to some notes that I took down back in May. I think this is actually at your place, and it was probably around the time. Yeah, it was definitely at your place because you just got Chance. So, but I mean, we're talking about a lot of shit. Personally, what's been good for me, I've fallen back on spending all my money on sneakers. I got back to writing, and I wasn't writing for a while, but I've seen so many inspirational people, and especially young people. Shout out to the youth, because the younger guys, for those who don't know us, everyone in this room is mid-late 20s. So when I say youth, I mean like teenagers. Shout out to them, man, in young 20s, whatever, because they're doing their thing, and I seen them step up in a big way, inspired me. Besides that, man, 2015 kind of sucked. So
listen, it's not all flowers and blossoms and shit like that. 2015 was rough. Right. In terms of everything. When I mean everything, I mean everything. We could definitely get into that, but I want to give you a chance, K-Book, to just really like let me know. Besides the Butler catch, don't tell me the Butler catch is the only thing that went well for you this year.
Yo, honestly, even talk about more recently. I mean, there's small victories and everything, you know. So that's what I count. I count the small victories, and in a not so small victory the other day. As far as recent news, was just not covered as much by the national media as we would like, but this gentleman Daniel Holzclaw, Oklahoma City police officer, just sentenced to a cool 250 years in prison, something like that. My man was taking advantage and sexually assaulting, raping multiple minority women in the Oklahoma City area from like low income areas, and threatening them with jail time for petty crimes if they didn't do, you know, what he sexually wanted them to do. He did it for years.
Yeah, I heard about
it took a long time for this to come about. These women were scared because they didn't know who to call on the police. You know what I'm saying? Like they're being threatened by police, and they feel like they're powerless. And they finally came together, formed a coalition, and they put this man on trial. And he's gonna be going away for the rest of his life. And it was a great moment to me to watch him cry like a fucking pussy in that courtroom. That was great. I loved it. I watched it live, and I celebrated on Twitter with everyone else. Pussy shit is when you take advantage. When you take advantage of somebody and put them in a position where they got no other way, and you want to use that to your own benefit, then you're a pussy. That's it. That's how I feel.
He's a manipulator. He's controlling. And he's gonna get what he wants. I just think it's funny that all these women had a form of fucking I'm assuming he's white.
Yes.
They had a form of coalition to get him in jail.
It was upwards to 13 women, and the youngest one being 17 years old.
Wow, the power of the white man. Shout out to all the white niggas I do fuck with. Yeah, there's a lot of y'all, but that's crazy. You need a coalition to put this nigga in jail. All the motherfuckers just say they see me doing something, but they'll lock me up for at least a night until they figure out whether or not I did it or not.
We'll find the evidence later.
Right. Just throw them in there.
Yo, but good man, to look at it this way, though, I mean, they were taken advantage of, and who were they going to go to? If the police is doing you wrong like that, who can you go to?
I mean, word, and I think. So just to piggyback off of that, it's dope that they formed a coalition. I think it's profound. I think it's empowering. I also think it's daunting that you need a coalition in order to get one man locked up because of the system that's behind him protecting him and the privileges he has as a white man, as opposed to women of color, which are probably, if we're saying that men oppress women, which they do in this society, and then we're saying that
well, that's more police officer.
Minorities are oppressed. Then if you're
police brutality.
A woman who's a minority, you're on the opposite end of a spectrum from a white man. So you have to form a coalition to get this man in jail, and he's a cop, you know. So I heard you. I think there is power in that, but I also think like a lot of meetings. You know, I've been around people talking about that we need to have our own system of protecting ourselves. When I say our own, I mean minorities. We do need that. We need our own people to run to and be like, listen, this cop's out here raping people. We don't know who to talk to. We need to get this started. I'm pretty sure they spoke to someone and like, yo, form a coalition. There's this power in numbers, right? There's power in people. People are power. So, I mean, I think it's dope. I just think it's kind of crazy. One cop, that's what it takes.
Well, that's messed up too, man. Because, listen, I'm not going to say I have friends. I know people who are cops. I know people who are close to me who are trying to be police officers, and I respect them for going out there and putting their lives on the line, because at the end of the day, that's what they're meant to do, protect and serve. And so to be taken advantage of by the same system that's meant to protect you, and you being the bottom of the social pole as not only a black person but a black female, and not having a safe space to voice your opinion, or to even go somewhere to feel like, you know, you're protected, because the ones that are meant to protect you are hurting you. That's tough. That you have to, like you said, bring in a group of other people who've been in the same position as you to prove a case. It's like, I swear if that was a young white woman and there was a black cop, that shit would have happened instantly. It wouldn't have to take more than one white woman.
They would have locked them up and found the evidence
been,
later.
It could have just been conspiracy.
That's why I preface that by saying I count the small victories, because you're right. You can go on and talk about the countless injustices happening constantly on a daily basis around America, but every time there's a small victory, we can't ignore that shit, and we can't allow the national media to not cover something and then act like it never happens. So the fact that this happened, I want to speak on it. I want to put it on the forefront, and you're not going to see it on the front page of CNN. You're not going to see it on your nightly news, but it's real. It's happening out here. And small victories matter.
I agree. I think 2015 is full of a lot of small victories and people coming together, and I definitely agree with that, because it steps the building. You're working on the foundation, you're trying to make it strong, and you go from there. I don't know. I think that's dope. I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, it legit just happened Friday night, December 11th. He was sentenced.
I mean, that just sucks, man. Think about the women, because you said you're doing this for years. So think about the women who were just sitting in fucking silence and anguish. I'm sure he probably visited some of these women multiple times, not like it was just once. And it's like, wow, people really taking advantage of their authority and just using it to blatantly oppress people.
And just to even because this is really just us being raw as possible and just thinking about the direction of this conversation. We didn't really have too many things to say that were great that went down in 2015. I mean, let's talk about the small victories then. If we can't come up with big ass victories, what about the small victories you think that came in 2015?
There's a lot more biracial couples in commercials, so America seems to be supporting that, and homosexual couples, so America seems to be supporting that. Those are small victories.
Those are small victories.
You see commercials with a black nigga and a white woman, they got little mixed babies and they eating Cheerios. That's some crazy shit. I never seen that before.
I've never seen black people eat Cheerios.
Black people watching their cholesterol now in 2015. That's a small victory. I'm personally hearing about black-owned businesses. I mentioned this before. There's two other podcasts that I listen to. One is Tax Season and one is the Black Phillip Show. R.I.P. Patrice O'Neal. And with Tax Season, one of their sponsors is Bevel, and Christian Walker is a black entrepreneur. He runs that. So you see people on their forefront making money, man, and real people, right? So I see a victory of real people kind of doing real things on a small level. I mean, we're doing a fucking podcast. That's a victory in itself.
That is a small victory, true.
I come full circle.
True.
I respect that.
Salute that.
Also,
the small victory over in Missouri. University of Missouri being able to stand up as a unit. The football team and other members of minorities at the university standing up against the school president for really just ignoring the racial issues and tension that's been going on campus, and even getting together, and the football players getting together saying that they wouldn't even practice or play. Students participating in boycotts and protests, and even teachers getting involved. That put it to the point where now this is now on a national scale, and it brought light to the the president ignoring the situation. It really brought that to light, and it shook him out of his boots, and he resigned. So that's power in numbers, one, and that's a small victory too for not only the world or our country seeing numbers work together, but also a small victory for us as minorities being able to get together and with allies to prove a point. So that's a small victory too.
Definitely. And speaking of victories, since we're on the topic, I got a couple little awards I want to give out right now. We're gonna segue real quick.
Awards.
We're gonna segue real quick. All right. I realize we're not as esteemed or maybe on the same stage as like a Grammy Awards or or BT Awards or something like that.
We might be up there with BT.
Yeah, BT is.
You know,
BT
we not
is-
far from it. We not far from it. You know what I'm saying? We might be coming to a BT near you before you know it. But
close enough for the Source Award.
But oh man, he was getting shot, stabbed and shit. All right, but yeah. So you know, I want to give out a couple little awards regarding music this year, and this is really coming in response to after the Grammy announcements just came out. And
what are your awards called?
they're just I just have individual superlatives.
Mind
Yeah,
you,
but like, you have to have a name for it.
I'll come up with that at a later date. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, first of all,
Yo, this off the cuff.
This is definitely off the cuff. I'll tell you out right now. Me and Good Matt had no idea what the hell it was.
Nah, man, I'm just taking it. I'm just taking it. I'm commandeering the show right now, bro. You know what I'm saying?
This dude doesn't have any
Hijacking this shit,
hardware
bro.
right now.
Go ahead.
Not even a
Yeah.
certificate.
I'm
to
a
show for
podcast
it.
terrorist, baby.
Go ahead.
Active shooter.
Go ahead.
Alright, so yeah, man, we got a couple of awards we want to give out. First of all, I just really want to address, you know, a really sad moment in hip hop. You know, this is a posthumous award for the best posthumous performance by my man Meek Mill. You know what I mean? He came out here and he put together a very great body of work, and he's always been known as a mixtape rapper. People are like, you don't got a great album. You don't got a great album. He came out with a very good album this year. And it's unfortunate he had to die the same year that his great album came out. And you know, I just want to pay respects to the man and the legacy he left behind.
Let's give him a moment of silence.
Moment of silence for Meek Mill.
What?
Bet. Alright. So, you know, with that said, we're gonna get that out the way. Also, my next award is the fuck you. This shit goes hard. And that's like, you know, you get in the whip, someone playing some shit like, yo, who is this? Oh, my nigga, fuck what you gotta say. This shit goes hard, my nigga.
So this is the It Goes Hard?
Yes.
Okay. It Goes Hard award.
This goes to Ray Shremmer and Shrem Life. Alright? That album, top to bottom, only 11 songs. They were smart. They ain't overextending themselves. These little kids with the no flex zone and all the little shits they do, the little hits they got, little viral shit they do, it goes hard, my nigga. They put out 10 songs of just tough shit, banger after banger after banger.
Bro, are they even
stay in
18?
their lane? I think they're like 17 years old.
I can't listen to you.
They stay in their lane, bro. When Nas was 17 when Illmatic came out, I ain't saying it's Illmatic, but let's go. All right, bet. So next, we got this is personal right here. You know?
This is personal.
This is personal right
Get
here.
involved in your award ceremony.
So this is my daughter Kai. You know, so she listens to music with me most of the time. I'm listening to music. I'm listening with her, and this is her favorite record. This is what makes her move. This is what she turns up to. This is what she likes to hear, and that goes to Donnie Trumpet and the Social Experiment with Surf.
Did she tell you this?
Nah, she every time I put it on, she don't gotta tell me. I watch her move. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I put it on. She be in the backseat. She be jigging. She be nodding her head.
What song is this?
Nah, it's an album. Chance the Rapper is his group, his band, and Donnie Trumpet is the leader of the band. And they put out an album called Surf. It was a free album. Put it on iTunes for free, which people don't do no more. But yeah, put out free music. And it was a great body of work, and it's just
Kai fucks with it?
Kai loves it,
all right,
top to bottom. We play it in the whip together when we riding, taking road trips. Yo, she loves it. So you know that's Kai's record right there. She wanted me to put that out for y'all, so I had to do that for her because she can't put the words together yet. Shout out to Kai. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to this like 16-month-old baby.
And she is a connoisseur of the music, bro. We've been listening to Bob Marley Exodus since day one.
Yeah, that's real.
You know what I mean? So
real.
me and her get together and we listen to music, and this is her favorite record of the year. So I gotta put that out there.
Right, so how many more of these podcast terrorist awards you
Yo,
got?
my niggas, let me get a couple more off, and then we gonna be good.
This should
I'm
be
gonna
the
get a couple
shortest
more
award
off.
show of all time.
Yeah,
Make it quick.
bro. We gonna make it. Yo, you gonna get the wrap it up box? All right, bet. Yo,
Make it quicker than McGregor's fight.
I'm gonna wrap it up right here.
Damn.
Oh shit, my nigga.
Quick victories.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that real quick. Yo, I am not paying for no more UFC fights. 2016, no more. These shits be over in fucking less than 20 seconds.
Alright.
What the hell's the point of that
But
shit?
see, I get you, K Boogie, but niggas need to like really pick and choose like what they really want. Cause niggas want this, but then they want that, right? I don't get it. Cause then when Mayweather fights and he's, you know what I'm saying, meticulous.
It don't gotta be 15 rounds
Hold on
either.
a second.
12 rounds.
When Mayweather fights and he's calculated. He's not getting punched in the head, so he's not a fucking babbling buffoon even more than he is later on in life. You know, the nigga already can't read. If you get punched in the head too many times, like, what's he really gonna do? And shout out to Mayweather. Whatever. You probably never hear this. If you do, I'm sorry. You can't read, my nigga. But I love you as a fighter.
So how is he gonna find this podcast?
Right. Someone will type it in for him, or he can use the voice activation on his smartphone, his intelligent phone. But so when you see Mayweather fight, niggas be bored. I want to see dudes go at it. I want to see them fight. Then you get UFC. These dudes are animals. And someone gets knocked out in 13 seconds. That was boring. What the fuck do you want?
If I could watch your fight on Vine, my nigga, then it don't need to be paying for that shit.
I hear that.
You know what I mean?
Here's what they want. They want a fight to go as long as Mayweather's, but as savage as the ones in UFC. Like, no one's built like that.
I don't need to see a Rocky fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, let it go around. You know what I mean? Let me get 2 minutes.
Let me tell you something.
I'm not asking for a lot.
If you pay me to fight and I walk in that ring, if I'm trying to knock you the fuck out.
Right.
If a nigga go walk on a basketball court and win the game in 2 minutes, he's gonna do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so let's close out your award ceremony.
Y'all want? Yeah, you right.
Your podcast terrorist awards. That's what they call
my podcast. Word, I fuck with it. So,
shout out to that.
I'm gonna go with the last one. The last one. It's just this is the album that should have just never came out. Just my nigga, just pack it. You gotta know. Sometimes I know niggas pay for studio time and like they work hard and you know they be out here like doing all this promo like I got some shit coming. But if you play your album back and that shit's weak, nigga, just put it in the trash can, bro. Just scrap it. You don't have to put it out. You know. I know you pay. I know work went into it, but you don't have. Dom Kennedy. Just why'd you put that album out, my nigga? Like I fuck with you. Like you good. You put out some good work in your history and your discography. You got some quality shit. You put out some whack ass music this year, my nigga. And I know niggas who Don Kennedy fans from out here in Boston. When he came out to Boston, the line was fucking blocks long at the Middle East to get into his show. He has a huge following out here. Yo, my nigga, you put out some whack ass shit. You disappointed a lot of people this year, my nigga. If you got whack shit, it's cool. Put it in the safe. Don't let niggas hear it. You ruining your own brand, bro. Next show you come out here, I ain't fucking with it. I don't want to hear you play none of this shit. I don't want to hear it.
Wow.
I don't want to hear it, my nigga. I'll fuck with you, Dom. Put up some hot shit and I'll fuck with you again. Alright. That's it. That's all I got.
The terrorism has ceased.
That is the shortest award ceremony of all time. That's good stuff.
Clear, concise, and to the point. I fuck with it.
Okay, so those are the small victories of 2015. I can fuck with
Most
that.
of his awards went to people who fucked up, though. I feel like. Oh no, he has some good ones.
I showed love. I showed love.
He was balanced.
Fair enough. There's some balance in the force.
Right.
That is 2015. If you want to talk about something that will wrap up 2015, it's Star Wars coming out. I don't care who anyone is. I don't know if you know me. You come by my place. You'll know that I'm a fan, bro. I'll draw paintings. I have little figurines. My dog has toys, Star Wars toys. I got all 6 movies. Anybody who could speak to me in Star Wars, I'm already instantly.
Even the ones with Jar Jar Binks, so that means he really fucks with Star Wars,
bro.
He owns some shit.
This year, Star Wars comes out, and it's going to be like I might even have to call in sick to work. And this is going to come out after that day comes out, so no one's going to know ahead of time. But I'm telling you, that shit is real.
Let's fucking eat some edibles, go wild. I was going to watch it Christmas Day, but then niggas want to throw parties and shit.
I mean, yeah.
But, I mean, here's the thing. Yo, that shit is in theaters. It's not going nowhere. Why are niggas rushing to be in line to go see it with a bunch of sweaty-ass fans? Like, just wait. Wait a week to go see it.
You see, this is a non-believer, bro.
I'm a believer. I just pay something.
Let's talk about a big victory. There's a motherfucking black stormtrooper, all right? He turns out to be a good guy, I believe, so I'm digging that one.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for this movie, too. I'm excited for this movie. I'm just not waiting no lines.
And Disney did it, so like it should be off the hook.
Yeah, because...
And this might bring crickets, but another small victory is Justin Bieber's album.
Oh, I can't lie.
Bro,
Bieber went in, he got some great writers and some great producers, and he still can't sing, but this shit, the album's tough.
He came in hot. The music came in hot.
Look at his nigga's face. Yeah. If y'all can see good Matt's face right now.
Yeah, that's
he had the ultimate come on son nigga.
Cue the crickets.
He didn't give Ed Lover a check, nigga. Yo, this nigga.
He definitely gave me that come on son look. I got you.
Oh man.
Right. Yeah. We'll just erase it from the podcast. Probably not. All right.
I can't believe we said Justin Bieber on episode 1. Damn.
Oh.
Niggas is throwing subs, right? Because we have a lot of episodes already recorded. We do this for like a year, right? So like Kyle addressed Dom Kennedy, whoever the fuck. No, actually I've heard some of your shit before. Let me not front. I know you're a rapper. I don't know what he's talking about with this trash album, but he said if you make something and it's not good, put it away. And we got like 9 episodes, right? And we made them.
A lot of work.
We just put them away because you know what? Whatever. I mean, one day you'll hear them and be like a blooper, but not now. It's not gonna be our first episode to you guys. It's supposed to be polished and clean. So that sub Kyle just threw is because this nigga wanted to mention something about Drake last episode and got really angry about it when we called him out on it.
And here's the clip.
Siri lost me, dog.
Siri fucked it up.
Siri lost me.
Siri was like, what?
But here's the thing. The trigger fingers turn to Twitter fingers, man. And that's the issue. Niggas love to talk.
This is our first episode. You gonna quote Drake?
Quote Drake, bro?
Will you niggas let me make a fucking point, my nigga? Why y'all so hung up on Drake niggas and talking about shit?
No, I don't know.
No.
Niggas feel type way. Y'all niggas sensitive. Y'all are sensitive right now. Y'all are acting real sensitive.
Try to step out the way of that one, nigga. Moving on.
That's what niggas say when they don't know what to say. Yo, this is for the culture, man.
Yeah, but okay, so we got the good. Which was pretty good. I mean, small victories add up to the big ones. So we got stuff that went on in our own lives, but there's a lot of shit.
All right, some good sex 2015.
Shout out to the sex.
Right. Shout out to the sex 2015.
Yeah, man, damn. All right, cool. Well, with all that good stuff, there's a lot of shit that went down, right? So when you're thinking about 2015 in the shit, I've never experienced this in my life. I mean, maybe it's because I'm 27 years old and I'm, more in tune of what's going on in the world and what's the environment around me. But there's been so much violence in 2015. And I'm not even just talking about violence in my backyard. I'm talking about there's violence in terms of global issues and terrorism. And, I want to put that out, terrorism. There's violence, with police brutality on minorities and especially black men in this country, and then there's violence in my own backyard. I've seen so much and heard so much in regards to violence that really kind of just overshadowed my year because it was month after month that the media is just honing in and focusing in on attacks and focusing in on the issues in social media as well. What do y'all have to say? I mean, that's really the shit part of 2015 for me. It was the violence, and I could definitely get into more detail, but I want to know what y'all saw in 2015 as the low ends, the low points, the shits.
What made 2015 so terrible? Is what you saying?
Yeah, man.
I mean, listen, I wouldn't call a year bad, because we're alive and I feel blessed anyways, but. You're right, man. A lot of fucked up shit's happening around the world. When it comes down to violence, first of all, we live in America. This is a country founded on violence. This where we love violence. Like if you play a video game, if you watch a movie, if you look on TV, if you fucking listen to music, like there's violence everywhere. It's been a part of our culture. Guns are a part of our culture, and all this other nonsense. And people want to jump and point fingers everywhere else whenever something negative happens to say, oh well, it was an individual, he was crazy, or that doesn't represent all of us. Like the facts of the matter is, when there's people being killed, when there's mass shootings, and there's a trend going on now of this happening constantly, we become desensitized to this shit. It's fucked up out here, and there needs to be some accountability somewhere, and that's what we're seeing. Like everyone's pointing fingers somewhere else, and that is the overall message to me. Is that makes no solution because nobody's coming with any type of proposition to try to make things better. At least not one that's formidable that I've seen. I can say. Was there
a certain time or a point in this year where you were just like, damn, like there is a lot of violence going down? Was there like a breaking point for you where you
when
like that?
And I wish I had a dude's name on top of my head, but when it comes to the kid who went into the church and shot those people who are praying, and they invited him into their prayer.
Oh, in North Carolina, South Carolina,
and that was just sick. And it brought me back because I studied history in college, and it brings me back to back in the Reconstruction days when KKK was out here burning churches and killing people in churches and bombings and stuff like that. And like it was just general news, and it was ridiculous out here, and that's still happening to this day. Like the church is seen as a safe haven to the black community, and it's also seen as an easy target to people who hate the black people. And that was a very low point for me. If you want to talk about low points,
I agree. I mean, that definitely falls under the violence. Good math. Was there a point where 2015, where you saw the violence at its most high, whether that may be even in your own backyard, in our own backyard, or globally? When was it a point for you where it's like, God damn, this is enough? Like,
I mean, nationally, there's no chill. Cops are still out here killing people. And then nationally, the trend of violence is going on. Chicago's been off the hook. I really haven't heard too much about Cali or anything, but over here, even back home, just Boston in general, this summer, and it even started before the summer, but this summer was fucking bananas. Like, and Boston, for those of you who don't know, Boston's very small, right? Like, very small. It might be smaller than some boroughs in New York. And like, you got an issue with someone in Boston, you're gonna see them. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And this summer was crazy. I didn't go out much. I got an Xbox, so I was chilling. You know what I mean? You gotta make certain moves to avoid getting yourself in trouble, or avoid getting yourself fucking hurt. And really, even I feel like that trickles down from global energy. When I say energy, I don't mean like oil and shit, but I kind of do metaphorically. But I actually just mean like what's harmony, what's our karma, because we're out here, we're engaged in major conflicts, and there's a lot of hurt and pain around the world, and I think that shit trickles down to the hood. I think it comes down, and really what I see going on is that there's new trade negotiations going on, right? There's new tariffs being discussed, and there's just money being involved on a global scale between Western European countries. And if we're trying to build up this country, then gentrification is one of the biggest problems, right? But we're trying to build it up in terms of revenue. So like, we're gonna have all these people, these lower income people, usually people of color, and we're gonna give them the means and allow them to kill themselves and make themselves afraid. So they move out of the cities and they go somewhere else. And we come buy the property for cheap because the property value went down because it's so dangerous out here. And then we sell it back to people for a killing. And now we really have suitable people in these neighborhoods that we want to control. And when I say we, I don't mean white people. I mean we, the ominous they. Whoever these motherfuckers are, they have an agenda. I believe that's where a lot of violence trickles down from, is globally. Because in order to compete globally, this country needs more money, and gentrification is a great way to fucking to do it, man, right? And gentrification ties into allowing more people to move in and go to college in the city, right? And now you get to live right near where your college is. So your college got set up here because it was already cheaper to buy here. The taxes were cheaper because it was right near the hood. The hood got exploited to the 10th degree, right? Now everybody's killing each other. They have to move out. They're going to redevelop them, and they move in a bunch of people from out of town so they can go to college here. And now they're getting their nut coming and going because they made money for you to live here, and they're making money because, you're going to owe thousands of dollars in debt in college. And I mean, that's really how a big part of the way this country gets its money, so it can compete in violence on a global scale. Sorry.
No, yo, listen. I fuck with that, man. I fuck with that hard, and I see a lot going on in terms of violence. You're talking about Boston in our own backyard. There's a lot of violence. This was a very bloody summer in regards to...
And it's still going on.
It ain't so down. You know why? Because it's still warm out. It's crazy. Global warming is affecting the hood.
I mean, I don't... no bullshit. No bullshit. But like...
we're just bringing in everything under the sun. No pun intended.
But hey, you see how it works, right? Because there is a pun that is underneath the sun. And even like, that shit's real as fuck. And I don't know whoever's listening, if you guys are from the East Coast, there used to be this thing like when it started to get cold, because we've had some cold days. When it started to get cold, like niggas are kind of like, alright, like I'm in the crib. Like you might be outside to make your money, but you're not outside trying to just kill niggas. Yo, in Boston for years, that treaty is null and void. That shit does not exist anymore. Unless there's fucking 4 feet of snow outside, you can get got. So like, be careful. It's ridiculous. Global warming is real as shit. Yeah.
Nah, it's just crazy. It's just crazy how casual you said it. Like, oh, it's nice. I'm gonna go kill somebody.
It's fucked up.
It's a nice day to kill somebody. It's fucked
look
up.
at it as like on a bigger scale, right? Violence of 2015. Like there's so much violence going on around the world, all right? So there was the mass shootings at the school in Kenya earlier this year. There was there was a few violence situation or events that happened in other parts of the world, and I can't put my finger on it because the media doesn't really think about it too much. But I remember reading about this stuff earlier this year.
We're not the media,
right?
So.
To avoid media is to walk around with your ears plugged and your eyes closed. You really can't really avoid it. So like it's what I want to accept in my brain and keep it in my head. Some of this stuff it definitely goes in one ear, not the other, because I know what's bullshit, what's not. You can't feed me crap and tell me it's Cheerios. Yeah. Even if it's gonna lower my cholesterol.
Even if it's an interracial couple.
Exactly. But like when it comes down to it, like there was so much shit that went on in this world, right? But in 2015, one of the things that bothered me, and it definitely affected the world, or at least America, was the shit that happened, the terrorists, and I'm going to put this in quotations, and ISIL, as President Obama will say it instead of saying ISIS, attacking over in Paris, and the whole media pretty much, putting all their efforts and blessings to Paris and all the shit that went down. And like I don't want to even talk too much about it, but Paris, yes, I feel bad for what happened to the people that lost their lives. Those are innocent lives. But at the same time, I don't know if I want to react the same way the rest of America did towards it. Like, it sucked it happened. I'm not taking that away. Just the focus on it really bothered me because there are other places in this world in this year that have suffered more casualties and have or continue to suffer casualties, and we do not put effort into it. And I don't know, and this is my opinion, and I'm going to say it's because it's another westernized country, and because we feel like we can mirror ourselves and see it as something that could happen to us because they are one of the superpowers. We relate, and we give all this like shout out and change our profile pictures to the colors.
It's just an excuse for everybody to show off their vacation pictures.
Well, that was another thing too. But like, so people are changing their profile pictures. People are pray for Paris and all this other good stuff, and pray for the lives that lost in Paris. But why more attention to this than others? I mean, if we were talking last year. And if I were to walk around the streets of Boston and walk around the streets of the United States and ask, what are your thoughts of France? I want to pretty sure get an opinion of we hate French and the French hate us. I'm pretty sure that's usually how it goes.
General sentiment. French don't like Americans and Americans think French people are soft.
Well,
that's the truth.
I learned that from South Park when I was a kid, so I believe it.
Listen. I'm just saying, like, I have no problem, like, but I'm sure that was the mindset before this incident happened. So why do we put more focus on Paris than we put focus on Kenya or the other countries? Is it
because they're white?
Yeah, because it's supposed to be safe there. And brown people are supposed to kill themselves. The Middle East, like we just see them. They don't look at what's going on there. The fact of the matter is when Boko Haram was running through Nigeria and the rest of Western Africa, and abducting women and children and killing people and slaughtering whole villages, national media touched on it to a certain extent, but there was no real military action or there was no outcry like to the same extent where the whole world's attention is shifted. And it's happening every day in the Middle East. Syria, this refugee crisis is because of civil war and violence and the government killing its own people in these nations. And The fact of the matter is,
So what are you saying? What are you saying?
it's-
Like it's brown lives are supposed to be shooting each other with these automatic rifles.
they see it. Yeah, that's why they see it as
and
it's
black
just happening
people
again.
act like animals.
Paris is the most romantic place in the world, supposedly, right? I think that's like cliche for actually like lay people and poor people. Like we see that on TV and they like, oh, this is the most romantic place in the world. But really, like there's the south of France and a lot of other exclusive places that probably most people will never see. It'd be probably easier to get to Paris than it would be to get to other places. So don't tell me that don't sell me that fantasy. But I mean, really, I really think it boils down to it being Paris and this connotation that is this romantic place, and then I mean it's white Western European. So and I'm fairly certain it wasn't just white people who lost their lives. So that's not what I'm saying. But really, when I think about France or French people or Paris, I'm not thinking of the immigrants or the refugees that are coming in from these war-stricken countries, which it's not just their governments that are oppressing them and killing them. It's a lot of Western influence in these countries and maybe even on their governments that are leading to such a discourse. And now because of this event, they're like, oh, we don't, not because of what happened in Paris, we don't want refugees. We don't need to take them in. Like, they're dangerous.
Oh, and that's an agenda in itself.
Of course. So, like, I mean, like O said, RIP to those who pass. It's a sucky way to go. You're just out enjoying yourself and someone comes and takes your life. I really do, bless them, bless their families. But that word innocent, we gotta really take responsibility because we participate in this country. We pay taxes. We actively participate in this country. So some people might look at us like we're not innocent because you know what I mean. But and they can have their opinion about it. I don't know how innocent I am in that because I'm not fighting every day telling my government what they're doing is wrong. Maybe every other day, but not every day. You know what I mean? So, but RIP to those people. I know Oda didn't want to spend too much time on this. So
yeah, I mean, like look at it back in the day with Ali, right? Muhammad Ali got in trouble because he was saying that he's not going to go fight a war that he has no point in being in. Right? Like he's not going to go kill someone that he doesn't know. Look like that's whatever. And because he has a war that he's fighting on in the front here, right? You got a war on your own turf.
We have a war on poverty. You know what I'm saying? Well, plenty of wars going on in America that need to be addressed, and instead of addressing them,
we're focused on
being the world police.
Yeah.
America, fuck
yeah. But it's not even like listen. It's not even a war on poverty. It's a war on the impoverished. For those people who do not have the means to stand up for themselves. Or the economic stature to defend themselves, then you get picked on, you get used, you get abused, and that's what they're doing to the rest of the world. So I was talking about the energy and how it trickles down. We literally have bad energy because we're fucking stealing all these resources from other countries. Because at the end of the day, there's only so many resources, and the population of the world keeps getting bigger and bigger. So if you really think about it, people who are like America is because they're looking at it and being realistic. This is if it's a board game, I need to take over what I need to take over to sustain myself and keep in power as long as I can, and until whatever, until the earth gets mad at us and creates those big tidal waves and cleans herself up. You know what I mean? So like,
right,
it's happening too.
America. But I mean, yeah, I'm with you on that. Like, it's like you have war going on outside, and we're the world police, and we're pretty much, we want to make sure that we got our hands on everything. That way, when we need something, we can just take it. Mm. We'll police, but to the point where if you decide to attack us, now it's us against the world. It's like, when are you going to stick your nose in someone else's affairs and then be receptive to them sticking their nose in your affairs?
Never. What the fuck? It's like when is a bully going to allow someone to run in his pockets? It won't happen.
Fair enough. You just answered the question then. I think
it just won't. And I mean, he spoke about Boko Haram, like what was going on in that part of Africa, and I don't want to mispronounce because you said it very correctly. But you have to listen to like NPR about that, and then you can hear these generals talking. You hear these people fucking crying and the anguish and just the despair in their voice when they're doing these interviews. Like, shit's fucked up over here. Mm-hmm. If we were really the world police, wouldn't we go police that? but it's not profitable.
It's not.
No, right, exactly.
There's no immediate benefit to it.
It's not profitable, but all that shit with France. Well, you know what? Those motherfuckers, that could have been us. They look like us. We might have family over there. We kind of like going to Paris. We want it to be safe. And when we have another conflict, we like to take pictures. And when we have another conflict, now they're gonna have to ride with us because we're riding with them. Like really, my nigga. Like I don't want to make it seem like I'm not sympathetic towards those people who lost their lives, but I know niggas that lose their I've known plenty of people to lose their life. Look, people die all the fucking time, and there doesn't seem to be an outrage when it happens to a certain demographic of people as opposed to another demographic of people. I don't see niggas walking the street holding hands. If that was the same response every time someone got killed in the hood or a cop killed someone, if everybody changed their profile picture or their page, or senators and state reps came out and marched every time someone died, it would happen a lot less. But nobody gives a fuck. But you want me to care and be real sympathetic about these people so far away because they got caught in the crossfire? And I'm not... I denounce people attacking innocent people who were unarmed and really weren't about it, because that's a civilian. If you got a gun, then you're in it. If you don't, then you leave them alone. I denounce that. But to those people who committed those attacks, I have a couple theories about that. I'll leave that for a different day. But for those people, this is war to them. This ain't... It wasn't no... And this is war to them niggas. The war on terror is our version. Is the closest we're going... This is World War III that we're already in, but we just don't see it. This global conflict right now.
They ain't call it yet, cause that's when we see the other powers get involved. That's when it's gonna really be called. It's getting there.
Russia and China ain't fucking around. Mm-hmm. They're playing their pieces.
It's getting there.
So we just laid into the good and the ugly of 2015. What would you say is indifferent? What would you... That was just you thought it was going to go one way for 2015, it just didn't go that way, and you're just like, whatever. The indifference. Well, what would you say that for you for 2015? And I could even just punch it off and start off by telling you my indifference for 2015. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, cool. Well, then my indifference for 2015 was going down to Washington, D.C., in October, early October, for the Justice or Else Farrakhan march, Million Man March, and it was the 20th anniversary, and I went down with the idea of thinking that this would be great for the podcast, getting a few interviews with some like-minded people who are coming to get together for one common goal, and that's really to really unite the Black community. And I went down there with such high hopes, man. I was ready to interview. I wanted to hear, all these speakers, and I want to see so many different people. I even want to see a lot of different allies, and seeing that. But when I went down to D.C. for that march, I got a different reaction. Or a different response. When I went down there, it wasn't a million people. There wasn't a million people there, which was a little disappointing. I was deflated from that. When I started interviewing people, I got a few responses, a couple of responses, and this is what he had to say about the march.
Well, people are asleep. We're not awake. Everything is fabricated, what you see. It's like a mannequin. It's just fake. It's not real. It has no feelings. It doesn't have no emotion. So everything is fabricated. Everything is a lie. So it's for people to wake up.
Where are you coming from?
Atlantic City, New Jersey.
And you're here with friends, or you came by yourself?
We're friends, actually. I'm looking for a friend right now, actually. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. So I got a few different vibes, and one thing I wanted to really understand was, now I got a few ideas of why people came here, but I want to see what Farrakhan had to say. I want to hear what the keynote speakers had to say. And Farrakhan, to be honest with you, and this is my opinion, didn't really hit on the issues that I really want to hone in on, which was building a better Black community and also building community to go against brutality that the cops are putting upon us as Black men. And he was really, first of all, he was going into his old rhetoric of just giving you his 1960 reverence speeches and talking for hours on end, to the point where his bodyguards switched around like 6 times behind him because they were, I don't know if they got tired of standing there. Went on a tangent, maybe the same one that I'm going on now, but his was 6 hours. Ours is not that long. And he was avoiding questions too, which really bothered me when they asked him. Actually, no one even asked him. He just brought it up on himself when he was talking about, some people want to know if I killed Brother Malcolm, and he didn't even answer the question of killing Brother Malcolm, and Brother Malcolm being Malcolm X. He went around the question by saying, if I killed him, would I be standing here today? Yes.
It depends on who actually killed him.
Like you don't have to. That doesn't answer the question. You're definitely a true politician at heart, my man, and it really disappointed me because you weren't uplifting the black women that came to support by saying that women should not get abortions. They should pretty much be a vessel to life, regardless of the situation, which is not right. But anyways, this whole entire rant, like, I did find some positive in it, and one thing that I'll take away, and I'll share this with you guys, is there was a keynote speaker that really hit home to the way I felt and the way a lot of people felt, regardless of what Farrakhan was saying for the 4 or 5 hours that he was talking. And I'll take that away. But as far as the indifference, like, I went in with one idea and came out with a total different opinion about what I went and saw. But this is the one thing that definitely touched me, and I think just a quick clip that y'all could hear to just really understand what I'm talking about here.
That's free for yourself. We need justice. Then they say, yeah, we need justice, but what you mean by all else? Well, we need justice or else we're going to withhold our wealth. We're going to give it back at Christmas and leave them toys on that shelf. You see, up to this point, we're the only ones being slain, so it's time to exercise our power and redistribute that pain. It's insane to do the same thing and expect a different result. The same ones who made us slaves is the ones we keep asking for help. Now ask yourself, how you gonna win fighting in the court when the ones who commit the murders is the ones who wipe the reports? All the lives we done lost, the tears we done cried, the promises was made, all the years they done lied. Ain't you tired of being tired? But here one of us died, and whoever killed them ain't guilty, or don't even get tried? Cops don't even get fired for choking us on camera. But we worried about Black Friday and taking pictures with Santa. You can't expect respect when you don't respect yourself. When the ones sit to protect the serve don't protect, you gotta protect yourself. You can't expect no one else to love you more than you. So that means that all else is totally up to you. What you willing to sacrifice so your kid can have a life? Let's take Christmas from Santa Claus and give it back to Christ. The way it acts nice is a demand. This ain't a march, we gon' stand. Man, woman, child, together, hand in hand. Cause we understand the facts of the matter. So we can't say all lives until Black lives matter. But Black lives gotta matter to Black people. And the facts is, Blacks kill most of the Black people. But the difference, when they kill us, they don't let it slide. You see, Ray Ray found guilty before he even get tried. 10-15, the government is on notice. They're not gonna keep killing us and have us fill up their quotas, giving us jail records instead of diplomas. That 40 acres of the mule, we gonna need what you owe us, or else.
But yeah, so that's really my indifference. I don't know if you guys have something that you guys came into 2015 with and then walked out with something else.
2015 with many expectations. You know, I had personal goals. You know, met some of them. I feel like, you know, it's just an ongoing thing. Another year, 2016, another opportunities. Keep moving, keep pushing.
Bet. Well, indifferent about? Nah, man. I feel like a movement was gaining traction, and I feel like a lot of that had to do with some niggas was just corny. Some niggas just wanted to be popular. Some people just wanted to say they were at places, and some people just wanted to say they were about it, and you know they really weren't. But such is life. I've seen that with street shit. I've seen that when it comes to team sports. I've seen that playing video games, man. That shit just happens, you know. So I'm not taking that no type of sort of way. I'm continuing to do what I do, and I'm building. I'm working with some good people. A good friend of mine, 2 good friends of mine, helping them out with this clothing line and Genie. That shit's banging. You know how to throw in my own little plug.
Shout out.
We're doing this this podcast here and just really talking with people, because I'm the type of dude, like, I think I'm getting new tattoos soon, and they're just gonna be on my hand. Like, I'm never gonna work a 9 to 5. That shit's just not happening. I'm not gonna be broke. That's not gonna happen either. But I'm just never gonna work a 9 to 5. It's not gonna happen. And that's my life, and I'm comfortable saying that, and I'm aware of that, and I gotta bust moves to guarantee that I have security for my family while staying true to myself. I'm not doing that other type of shit. No disrespect to people who do. I'm not fucking with it. And so I guess I'm not really indifferent about anything, because I don't know, I can be extreme at times. So either not in it or all the way over the top with it. You know, not to say I'm not level-headed when it calls for it, but most times it doesn't. Like, most times you can get away with either being, for lack of a better term, very submissive or very aggressive. That could get you out of any situation. So I'll leave it at that, man. The movement's still strong and still alive. TBT still here. And we're building. Shit, TBT's brand new to you guys. It's been a year for us, but so saying still here.
Alright, so then, what would you leave behind in 2015, and what would you take with you in 2016? And that's a fully loaded question, but I mean we're all smart enough to follow with that. So
I would leave behind mediocrity. I leave behind people who are on the fence. And that's, you know, that's completely circumstantial. You could be on the fence about me. You can be on the fence about a certain situation, a certain circumstance. Oh, we're gonna open a store, right? We're gonna buy a store. We're gonna open a diner, and then I don't know if I really want to do it. Then I'm leaving that shit behind in 2015. Like, listen, we're making moves, we're taking risks, and either in this circumstance you with me. If not, we're still cool. But I'm just not fucking with it.
So no uncertainties, no. If you're second guessing yourself, you're just leaving that thing behind.
I think I'm getting more. I'm growing up. Like, I'm 27. Like, yeah. I've talked about this with K Boogie before. And he's like, yo, I can't wait till I'm 30. Like, I'm gonna be like, nigga, I'm 30. Like, you already can't really tell this man shit anyways, because he think he got it, which is alright.
That's how I am.
You're the younger brother though, so I'll let you. I'm stubborn as fuck too. So, but I'm just really getting solidified to the point where, like, I don't know, man. I got this vision, and I've always had this ability just to see people, and I started fucking up where I would see people and I would let it ride. Like, nah, like he got potential, she got potential. Nah, they'll be alright. And nah, it usually isn't. People are who they are, and you accept them for who they are, or you don't. And I'm moving. 2016, that's how I'm rocking. And if you don't fuck with me, then that's cool. Like, you don't have to. Listen to the podcast though. Tweet us.
Can I segue to that? Yo, yeah. No bullshit. You hit on something serious, and that's going to be something I'm going to also leave in 2015 that I didn't think about, but I had an issue. Or this is something I'm thinking, or I've realized with females, and I'm going into 2016 single. 2000.
Heard that, ladies?
No.
Young O out here.
The way I see it, it's like the way I see it is I had an issue, and this is maybe because I was in college and when I was in grade school, like, I would always see potential in people. And it's good to see potential in people, but one thing I did that was wrong, and that I want to stop doing in 2016 is stop seeing potential in the women that I choose to be with, instead of, because that leads to a high expectations. And that yes. Could fall quick. Yes. I need to accept who I'm with or who I want to be with for who they are today. If they end up being better, then that's bonus.
Bueno.
You know, that's great. But like, what I see is like, oh, you know, you're okay in this picture. You could definitely be better in this picture. I'm going to help you get there. I should never do that, and I used to do that in grades in high school. Like, oh shit, she got braces now. She's gonna come off
in like 6 months.
Exactly. It's like she got potential. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or like, you know, even in college, like, oh, she's in school for nursing. Like, she's gonna be a nurse later on in life. Like, that's potential. Like, I'm 27 years old. If you're in my age range, which is like in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, I ain't got no range. but you just can't be. You can't be younger than my little sister.
Real shit.
But like, I need to just see you for who you are today, and that's something I need to take into 2016 with me. Leave that potential bullshit in 2015. But that's a little segue, and I appreciate you bringing that up.
I mean, no doubt.
Word.
But I mean,
that's crazy. Cause I know mad girls who are in nursing school who are strippers now, but that's a whole other story.
Nurse strippers, nigga.
I respect y'all too. Get your money.
But so that was a loaded question. So there was, what would you leave and what would you take with you, right? So what I would leave is, I would leave the uncertainty. When people have uncertainties in me, I'll allow that to be what it is, and I like you said, I just accept people for who they are. And try to build from there. And I guess that's what I'm bringing in to 2016. I mean, it's 2016. You know what I realize is that I always say this. Y'all know me, and anybody who knows me, I always say, like, this is the future. Like, niggas don't realize this is the future. Just because the cars haven't started flying yet, we are in the future, ladies and gentlemen. All right? So, like, 2016, I'm in the future, my nigga. Like, I was alive for 1999 when the ball was gonna drop and they said, like, the computers were gonna eat us or something, everything was gonna go to zero, we all were gonna be fucked. And that didn't happen. We bought a generator. You know the fuck, we live in an apartment building.
That's just building up dust today.
Right. Why would you turn that motherfucker? That was 16 years ago. So, you know what? I'm bringing it into the future that I know it's the future, and accepting the fact that I'm actually looking forward to the future, because you might think it's cliche, but thinking that you're going to be dead or locked up or just a complete failure is something that is a stigma that is attached to a lot of people of color, a lot of impoverished people, fuck people of color, because there's some broke white people who don't think they're going to be shit either. Mm-hmm. Let all that go, man. Do what you got to do and shed that. Like, I'm actually thinking about a future now. It might be grim, but I'm going to make my way through it, and I'm going to support the people I love.
That's crazy you say that, man. Cause I've always thought, like, you know, it's like an innate. It's a real thought, but it's like in the back of your head. It's your subconscious. But like, I feel like a lot of young people I talk to, a lot of young black people I talk to, like, they feel like they're gonna die young. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? They feel like that's inevitable. Mm-hmm. And that's the fucked up thought, because it's gonna affect how you make your decisions today. You're not gonna plan for the future. Like, you gotta feel you have a future first. Mm-hmm. You know? And that's really important that that people feel that way. Like, you know, you're valuable, you know? Like people have to understand their worth and their value. And when you don't understand your worth and your value, then you don't take any value in the next man's life either. Mm-hmm. And that's the kind of person that you'll become.
Yeah, and then you afford oppressive powers to now take your value from you. And if you kill someone, then they took that person's value too, because they put that stigma on you now, and you're feeding right into the plan, right into the trap. Fuck that. Fuck followed into the trap in 2016.
Word.
Not in a trap. No more trapping. I still listen to trap music, but no more trapping. Listen to what you niggas is putting out there. Trap music. Stop trapping yourselves. Stop it.
And women, stop acting like y'all all are trap queens, because I'm sure y'all would be scared to be in the trap.
The trap's nasty. It smells.
Yeah. All them trap queens, y'all be turning to informants, nigga. I know. Everybody snitch nowadays, man. It's 2016. That's what take with you in 2016, nigga. All these
not take the snitches to 2016.
Nigga, the facts, understand the knowledge, niggas tell, bro. Don't be out here trusting, like, you know what I mean?
And here's another thing, and I hope everyone who's listening could decipher everything that we're talking about, because we do talk
because the good weed is lit, and you know what I'm saying?
We do have, you know, some lingo that we like to share that most of y'all don't listen to or know about. But just to go off that, leave back in 2015. Actually, I'm stopping this in 2015. As of 2015, I am done picking up new slang, new lingo. I'm done. And the reason why I say that is because I can't keep up anymore. Like, there's a new word generated every day, and I gotta look it up sometimes. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't talk to people on a regular. I talk to coworkers because I spend more time at work than, you know, in my just free time. So I can't even. I know that's another issue. We could bring that up on a different podcast, right? But talk about work and life balance. But I can't pick up any more new slang. Like fleek was the last thing that I'm picking up, and I don't even use that word because it makes me feel. I don't know.
What does that mean?
Listen. I'll go on urban for you. I don't know. I don't pick up on that. That was the last thing I heard. Like my little sisters are talking about shit on fleek, talking about X, Y, and Z. Like I don't know. I don't know what that means. Yeah. So I'm done. Like if you can't communicate in 2016 with the words that you know from 2015 and before, then that's it. I'm too old. I can't pick up anymore. We can't have a conversation. That's fine with me. I'll leave you back in 2015 too. If you want to pick up new words in 2016, use them against me. I'm just gonna look at you like, hey, what the fuck you saying?
Right.
Like, let's. That's, for me, 2015. I'm done with.
You know, I actually kind of like started trying to create my own lingo or like bring words back. So I'm kind of like I'm indifferent about that because
I like bringing words back.
Bringing words back.
I like bringing words back. I started saying dope, and niggas be acting like dope's a new word. I'm like, nah, niggas was saying dope when I was fucking 6-7 years
dope
old.
Dope means two.
A lot of different things. Dope has a lot of different things.
My shit was like, if I was telling y'all, I smashed last night, I'm like, I cracked it. That's my shit now. I'm like, I cracked it. And walk in the room, Slayer. Like, that's my shit now. Team Xbox, what's up, Microsoft? Holla at me, nigga.
Jeez, yeah. Well, I could mess with that. I could fuck with that. I could get down with that.
You can't. If I was like, if you was like, good math. I went on a date last night. I'm like, where you crack it? But I cracked that shit wide open. Nigga. Like, what? That mean you slang that dick?
Nigga. Like crab leg, nigga.
It's just wonderful. It's juicy.
I can pick up on that, but like if a new word's formed, I can't. Like thought to me, when I heard thought, I legit had to figure out how you spell it because if it ain't spelled like the way that I thought it would be spelled. And
thought wasn't spelled like I thought it was.
Yeah, exactly. And so I had to, Thought was a new one for me, and Fleek was a new one for me, and that's it. I'm done this year.
I don't understand thought though, because they'd be like, you a thought, and then it's like you that hoe over there.
Yeah, that's
like,
what
y'all
I'm saying.
are dumb, nigga.
They are.
Y'all are dumb, nigga.
Yo, this next generation, man, I got a lot to say about it, and I think we're gonna say that for another podcast, bro.
Yeah.
I'm scared. I'm scared. These
niggas is wearing
These kids got the word at their palms and they use it for bullshit. I'm not.
They wearing skinny jeans and killing niggas and then calling women thoughts. It's scary. So 2015, some pros and some cons as was laid out by K Boogie and myself. I mean, every year has its ups and downs. There's always differences looking on to the future. I think the future's always bright as long as we're aware that, there's a light at the end of the tunnel and we're willing to keep climbing towards it. So if we missed on something, let us know. K Boogie, you got those social media plugs?
Yo, hit us at TBT_podcast. That's TBT _ podcast. And my Twitter, hit me, Salute True. I'm out here, man. Just, that's it.
Alright, so we're closing out. Big old peace. K Boogie peace. And y'all stay blessed, man.
Stay up, y'all.